On the way out. If you wanted to hide something, a really big dastardly plan, then people say you wouldn't tell everyone about it. You might know the one I refer to, the big one, the openly talked about conspiracy theory of the depopulation agenda. Many think it's fantasy, but the idea is not new, and it's not secret, so certainly not conspiracy. But what some overlook is that they haven't in any way tried to hide the idea. Why would they? It's possibly required that people need to know in order for it to work and gather steam. But maybe it was the implementation of the ideas that was to be murky and nondescript and confusing, so that people on the ground wouldn't piece together the bigger picture or work out how the small things were playing their part as they happened at the time. But there are plans and have been discussions surrounding the world's population density and what can be done to control it or get it in hand in some way. I'll use one that springs to mind. Apparently, this isn't how it sounds from Mr. Gates and has been misconstrued, but ask yourself this: how exactly did he think he would lower it by 10 to 15%, while at the same time improving everybody's health and environment, therefore breeding conditions? I wonder. First, we've got population. He said during the talk organised by TED, a non-profit organisation devoted to spreading ideas. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there, we see an increase of about 1.3. One of the recently deceased royals, Prince Philip, was quoted as saying in 1988, "In the event that I am reincarnated, I would like to return as a deadly virus, to contribute something to solving overpopulation." Two ways in my mind you achieve lowering: either sterilisation, therefore knowing it can't increase further, or extermination programs. Neither one seems very people friendly, does it? Lowering population means to stop breeding or to kill off some people, or both. Maybe I missed something there that was obvious to others, but that is what I took from it. Maybe that's why they want to dictate birth control, abortions, and breeding generally, switching the rhetoric from depopulation to overpopulation, because it sounds a lot more user-friendly to sound like you are halting the numbers rather than culling the numbers. And when it comes to influencing and convincing people to go along with things, they have useful tools at hand. See my article, Conversion Can Work Both Ways. But if you wanted to hide some big losses in workforces and society if you go for the culling method, it would be necessary to disrupt those industries and workplaces. Otherwise, lots of people suddenly taking sick or dying would be very noticeable and people might see. But if you had lots of strikes, restrictions, mass sackings, lots of changes, lockdowns, financial issues, etc., then it struck me how much easier it becomes to hide the overall losses, keeping everyone moving around and not having anywhere near the same routine they used to have. Work from home, 15-minute cities and zones popping up, shop online. All big changes to lots of people, but also means you see less people initially. Meaning, how would you know if any or a few were missing? And if you did, who would listen? And when certain industries seem at breaking point, they can blame the strikes, the economy, the people. But all were instigated at the hands of the planners, the people shapers, knowing what would ensue. With so many areas failing at once, the pressure and stress within each industry, I guess they expect the domino effect to then occur, each collapsing under its own confusion and instability, causing a chain reaction with others to follow. Or it would seem that is what's expected, although not quite coming to pass. Whether it's just the plan isn't working, has stalled a bit, or the people are showing more resilience than predicted, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see.